continue today with our class, Women's Guide to Practical Halachah, and we start with Sefer Chaim. The topic today is harming the wicked. Okay. We have seen that it is permissible to speak disparagingly concerning a rasha, wicked individual. With regard to potentially harmful speech, it is obvious that one may not say anything that could cause physical, financial, psychological harm to any person unless the Torah permits harming him. Just as it is forbidden to steal from a sinner, so too it is forbidden to speak about him in a way that could cause him financial loss, which is very interesting. All right. So I mean, if he has problems, he's a sinner in one area. So why should we cause him financial loss in other area? Two separate things. Okay, stop here. No problem. Okay, so we continue with our. Okay, we start the new section, and the topic is Chol HaMoed. So for those who do not know, Chol HaMoed is intermediate days, and it's actually coming in a few weeks, 3 weeks or so. Chol HaMoed. So after the first 2 days of Pesach, we have Chol HaMoed in intermediate days. Okay. Section 1, obligation. The rabbis tell us that one who disgraces the day of Chol HaMoed by treating them like a regular weekday has no portion in the world to come. It is therefore incumbent upon everyone to be aware of the relevant halachas govern these days. So people who casually work on Chol HaMoed, right, they have no portion in the world to come. You understand? They don't have to kill anybody. Actually, if somebody kills somebody and did teshuvah, they have portion in the world to come. It's very interesting. Okay, so we don't usually we don't work on the Chol HaMoed. Of course, there is some exceptional circumstances when person and we allowed a few people to work on Chol HaMoed. I'll give you an example. When somebody was just hired, like a month before this, and they asked for days off on actual Yom Tov. Of course, to ask for Chol HaMoed, it was a little too much, right? They would not agree. But that's exceptional circumstances. But otherwise, we don't work on Chol HaMoed. Continue. Although many are meticulous to wear Shabbos or Yom Tov clothing on the days of Chol HaMoed, according to strict Halachah, it's not required. But many people do. Like if you go to religious neighborhood, like everybody's dressed up on Chol HaMoed, right? It's almost like on a holiday. Like people go like for some entertainment. Is encouraged like for picnics and stuff like that. But that's what we do on Chol HaMoed. That right in this clothing. Okay. However, one should not wear ordinary weekday clothing. So maybe Shabbos and Yom Tov clothing, he said it's not necessary. Like it's a little maybe too much, but I don't think so. But no, it's not strictly required. But not weekly clothing. At least one item of clothing should be higher quality than she would wear on an ordinary day off from work or school. Okay, so at least this, right? It's for women. For men, if somebody wears like a special shtreimel, a special hat on Yom Tov, they would wear on the Chol HaMoed as well, and some other things. Okay. Continue. Meals on Chol HaMoed. To honor these special days, it is praiseworthy, but not obligatory to eat bread at the morning and evening meals on each day of Chol HaMoed. The evening meal need not take place after dark. It is sufficient to have it at regular time. A person eats dinner. Since this practice is not strictly required, if one forgets Yala Vayova during Birchas Hamazon, she does not repeat the benching. Okay, so even though like the meals are not required on Yom Tov, as we said before, you are required to eat 2 meals in the evening and then next day during the day. On Chol HaMoed, it's not strictly necessary, but On Pesach it's a little different, but on Sukkah, on Sukkahs, that's we all eat the meals on Sukkahs. At least men do in a Sukkah. Why is that? Because there is a special procedure before you eat. At night you have to invite special guests, right? So every day we invite different guests. So it would be dishonored not to invite one of our great guests. Okay, so that's why we eat. But since it is not necessary, strictly not necessary, if somebody forgets this insertion for a holiday, so you don't have to go back and read Birchas Hamazon again. But if somebody forgets this insertion on Shabbos, on Yom Tov, since it is obligatory to eat meals that day, you would need to go back and read it and read Birchas Hamazon with this addition. Okay. Continue. New clothing on Chol HaMoed. There is a commandment for one to be happy on these days of Yom Tov and Chol HaMoed. A woman has a joy of owning / wearing new clothing or jewelry. Therefore, women should, if possible, have a new item of clothing on the days of Chol HaMoed, besides the days of Yom Tov. Okay, so it's very interesting. Our sages explain us what makes men happy and what makes women happy. Right? What makes men happy? Wine, right? Red wine or whatever wine, and meat, right? Red meat. Okay, so I guess for most of the men. Okay, of course there are exceptions, but so it says that's why sages say on holidays you have to eat meat, for men at least, and eat and drink wine. But okay, for women they don't care so much about meat or wine, right? So but they care about clothing, right? So it's obligation on every Jewish husband to give his wife some article of clothing, right? On the holidays, jewelry, whatever she wants, right? To make her happy, or some other things, whatever she wants. That's would be proper to do it for Yom Tov. Okay, very interesting. So because that's what makes people happy, and especially children. So on all of the throughout the year, don't give them candy or something. And on Yom Tov, on Chol HaMoed, Yom Tov, give them something extra, so they would remember till the end of the days, till they themselves, grandparents, so how sweet is a Yom Tov. You understand? And how they enjoy, how they were looking forward. So I have to make everybody wait with special anticipation of these days. Okay. Next one, the 39 Melachos on Chol HaMoed. There are 39 Melachas that are forbidden on Shabbos. I forgot, I apologize. This class should be also for Refuah Shlema, I apologize, for Yaron ben Doris, Yehudis bas Sara, and Binyamin ben Sara. Okay, the whole Klal Israel should also have Refuah Shlema. Sorry. Okay. So continue. However, if certain conditions are met, they would be permitted on Chol HaMoed. So 39 Melachas are forbidden on Yom Tov and on Shabbos, right? But they also forbidden on Chol HaMoed unless you very, very need it, right? For example, Melacha that Tzorech HaMoed, a need for Chol HaMoed, or a second day of Yom Tov is allowed to be done. So if you need something for Chol HaMoed, for foods, or you need I don't know whatever for entertainment of the kids, of the family, there is no problem. So you can do all of this, right? Any action that will bring benefit for the person is included in Tzorech HaMoed. Okay, this act must be also be Maaseh Hidiyot. Okay, an act that can be performed by a simple workman, not a Maaseh Uman, not that requires a skilled worker, laborer. Okay, so something like, okay, maybe something simple. So don't spend send people off, And that was the problem in the days of Ezra. So people were planning their days off, and they postponed all of the other things since they're home. They would do all of the other things, and the sages understand that people ruin their own holidays. Hashem gave them the holidays to enjoy, and they were doing like all of the different chores. That's why our sages said only something simple and it bring you joy on the Chol HaMoed, on Yom Tov. Yeah, you can do, but other things you cannot. Therefore, one may vacuum the floor on Chol HaMoed. Okay, if it's bring joy, something or to make it clean. There is an immediate benefit, and it is an unskilled action that can be performed by anyone. Like what? So I think it's a good example. Likewise, on Chol HaMoed, one may pick flowers from the ground in place on a Yom Tov table, right? So also simple things. Even though this is Melacha, it's one of the 39 Melachos to pick flowers, to detach something that is grown from the ground. Okay, but on this day it will be allowed, since she or others will gain from the actions. From the action on the days of Yom Tov, and any unskilled individual can pick flowers. It is permitted under Chol HaMoed. Okay, so some simple things are allowed. So one more time, if you did not schedule the days off, try to not to work on Chol HaMoed. Okay. Very interesting. Continue. Writing on Chol HaMoed. So writing is actually one of the 39 Melachos also. There are dissenting opinions as to whether writing is considered Maaseh Hidiyot or Maaseh Uman. Right? So writing, very interesting. Is it like for any simple person can do, or you need to be a skilled writer? On another hand, most individuals are proficient in writing. Yet, in the times of Chazal, this was not the case. So only some people could write, right? And plus, it was a special handwriting, right? Therefore, if there is Tzorech HaMoed to write, one should write with the Shinui. So if person needs to write, so Shinui. So we're talking about intermediate days. We're not talking about holidays, right? So if it's needed for a Chol HaMoed, so write it with a Shinui. So Shinui, it's unusual manner. So if you usually write with the right hand, try to with the left, or like hold with the different fingers, right? Unusual manner to permit the writing on Chol HaMoed. One more time, it's because it's one of the 39 Melachos. The proper Shinui to write, okay, on the paper on diagonal, so like this, no, not like this, or like this, okay. In other words, while the normal manner is to write, so I mean, if don't change hands, but change the direction in a straight line across the paper. With the Shinui, the writing should be diagonally across the paper. This should be done for at least the first line written, and preferably of all of the other lines. So that's how strict it is. Okay, continue. Holding the pen and a pencil in an unusual manner, or using the weaker hand. So if you write it, try to write with left, if you can. I cannot. So, but or using the weaker hand is not method of Shinui that should be employed. So it's very interesting. So he said, I mean, even on Shabbos, that's what we do. So if it's like, for me, it's for sure Shinui. Some people can do like writing with both hands, better with like stronger hand, and not so good with a weaker hand, but they can do. Okay, it's very interesting. Texting is allowed on Chol HaMoed since it is a sort of Maaseh Hidiyot. Okay, so because it's texting, maybe if it's for the purposes of Chol HaMoed, okay, and plus person enjoys, no problem, you can enjoy yourself. So texting in this case is not writing. Continue. Sewing and repairing. Since Maaseh Uman is not permitted for, so Maaseh Uman, this craftsman, right? Like work of this craftsman is not permitted on for a Chol HaMoed, meaning for enjoyment of Chol HaMoed. One is not allowed to sew a garment in the normal fashion. Instead, she should purposely sew in a crooked manner, thereby rendering Maaseh Hidiyot. I'm not sure what usually people have in the Western society more than one garment. One may not have a jewelry repaired by professional jewelry, since it constitutes Maaser Uman. Okay, so all of these things can be. Believe it or not, so I have students and they were from not so rich countries, and it was some years ago, and I was saying about Shabbos preparing, and this person would ask me like the same question I could not get. Why don't you get another dress, another short? Like, what is the problem? But then they saw me like I was not getting, and they told me that's what we have. They have only like one change of clothing. That's it. Like one for Shabbos and one extras. That's it. This was very shocking. Right today. So if you have more than one, so of course don't do any sewing, any fixing. Leave it for another time. But I guess if people go away and they're in some kind of hotel and that's all they have, so maybe you would need some fixing, sewing. Okay. So any questions on what we said? Okay, no problem. So we continue. Food preparation. Any melacha necessary for food preparation may be performed on Chol HaMoed. This is called Ochel Nefesh. Food required to live. Okay. So, So that's one of the difference between Shabbos and Yom Tov, that you are allowed to do everything you need for food preparation. And start from the beginning. It's not like we spoke on Shabbos. You can only warm up this food, not that food. If it's ready, not ready. So here you can start cooking from the beginning. But of course, we said don't start cooking on Yom Tov if you could have prepared before that. And it's proper prepare as much as possible before the Yom Tov. Okay. So continue. Therefore, one may not only bake. Therefore, one may not only bake and cook. She's also allowed to perform grinding, sorting, sifting, etc. on Chol HaMoed. So all of these things are forbidden on Shabbos, right? Cook and bake and grinding and sorting and sifting, all of these things. Okay. Ochel Nefesh is permitted even if the act is din maaseh uman. So here it's very interesting. So even though to prepare some dishes you have to be like a professional, so since it is for preparing food, there is no problem. But again, the goal is to enjoy the Chol HaMoed. The goal is to enjoy the holiday. So if this woman is cooking, so like what enjoyment is it, right? So it's proper to prepare everything before, but as we said, it is allowed. However, all the Ochel Nefesh action may be performed only if the food is being prepared for the duration of a Moed. Okay. This includes the Chol HaMoed and the second days of Yom Tov. Okay, so all of the foods that you prepare. So Moed is a festival, right? Moed is a Chol HaMoed, and Moed is including holidays. So all of this, 8 days for Pesach, right? So all of this included in the name Moed. So you can prepare, for example, on Chol HaMoed, you can work, you can do whatever you need to prepare for the last 2 days. There is no problem, right? And it's proper, as we said, to do that. But you cannot make like extra for a weekday, right? So because you started work after the holidays, so we want something to have on a weekday. Of course, if you have leftovers, there is no problem to have leftovers. But purposely, say, yeah, I wanna relax like after the holidays till the end of the week. That's not how it works. You're not allowed to do that. One need not be precise in the amount of food she prepares. Of course, she may make a liberal amount, and if there is food left over, it may be eaten after Yom Tov. So, of course, we're not counting maybe somebody want to take extra piece of chicken. We're not saying only 2 pieces of chicken per head. That's it. Period. No, she can do more, but it should not be with intention for after the holidays. Maybe guests are going to come. Who knows? Okay. Included in this category of Ochel Nefesh is any act that has to do directly with food preparation, even if it is preliminary act. For example, a person whose stove has broken may have it repaired on the days of Chol HaMoed. Okay, on holidays we don't repair, but on Chol HaMoed no problem, because again it's for food preparation. Okay. Just a second, let's see what other subject we're going to discuss. Okay, okay. So he covered all of the subject. That's an amazing book. Since the food preparation is directly related to the stove, it has the same status of as Ochel Nefesh itself. Okay, so stove needed, refrigerator, whatever we need to do, no problem. As a result, it's permitted even if repairing entails skilled act. And Maaseh. So of course, I mean, you have to know how to take it apart and put it back, do whatever you need to do. However, if the stove was broken before Yom Tov, and attempts to fix it were intentionally postponed until Chol HaMoed, it may not be repaired. So as we said before, it's very interesting. So if person said, no, I'm busy, I'm preparing for Yom Tov, and on Chol HaMoed, I'm going to be free from work. I'm going to take care of this. So it's absolutely forbidden. Okay, because you had time before and you did not do it intentionally, not allowed. The offshoot of the Ochel Nefesh is any Tzorech Haguf, essential physical need. So here we go. That's the most common question. A woman may apply makeup and cosmetic on the Chol HaMoed, no problem. The only thing with this Pesach is coming, so there is a special list of, I think if you go to OU, I think .org, I think it's .org, but maybe, I think .org or .com, and check their lists, right? What makeup is kosher la Pesach, what is not. Okay. So the problem could be with the creams, like facial cream or hand cream, and the problem could be with lipstick. With it might contain chametz. Not chametz like chametz, but derivatives. It's mixture. Okay, but it might. So if you can go around it, please do. So some company they never have the chametz, but some do, and some change the ingredients. So you have to check the list every year, I guess. She may remove any hair from the parts of the body other than her head. Okay. So no problem. She may remove any unwanted facial hair, shave legs, etc. Okay. So that's why, because it's for women needs. So it's for her almost everyday need. Okay. Likewise, any item that needs to be repaired and is necessary for the physical needs may be repaired, even in a skilled manner. Okay, whatever is it, right? Such an item include eyeglasses. Okay, here we go. Eyeglasses, hearing aids, heating system, air conditioning system, and plumbing. So of course you need plumbing, you need air conditioning, all of these things. Of course you need a professional to do that. But since it's for a Yom Tov itself, it's not for any other needs. So we can do all of these things, or ask somebody to do it for us. Okay, continue. So, but again, it's only on Chol HaMoed, right? You cannot ask on holiday itself to anybody to do all of these things for you. Okay, same with shaving, hair, cosmetics, all these things. Okay, continue. Preventing a loss. Any melacha, so that's actually Shulchan Aruch actually I think starts from this part. Any melacha may be done on Chol HaMoed if it is to prevent the loss to one's financial possessions. This is called dvar ha'aved, irreversible loss. If loss will be a substantial one, then even maaseh uman, skilled labor, is allowed. Okay, so we're going to give an example. So if person is going to lose money or some possession on Chol HaMoed, right, and we're going to see this to discuss what the exceptions. So you're allowed to do. So making money, right, that you do not have, right, and not losing money, it's two separate things. So many people can confuse. They hear the word loss and they already assume that it's apply for them not making money in their job. And I was asked a question. It's very interesting. So a person, fortunately, like in a very difficult situation, and just got a new job, and they say, no, you have to work. You have to work. So a person asks if they can give up all of the money, just go there not to lose the job and give up all of the money. Okay. The answer is straightforward, but it's very interesting. So it's not losing money. Losing means that you had it before and now you're going to lose because of your inaction. Okay. Continue. Otherwise, the Melacha must be Maaser Yediyot. So even skilled labors can be done. For example, if a roof leaks and the water drips in, a repairman may be called to fix the leak. Okay. Since one's possession will be ruined, this constitutes dvar ha'aved. Okay, so that's a good example. You have I don't know, if you don't fix this leak, so the whole apartment is going to be in water. Maybe not the whole apartment, but it's going to ruin the floors and other things. Okay, that's why we're allowed. Continue. Melacha is permitted not only for a definite loss or of possessions, but even to prevent a loss that might take place. Therefore, a home's door lock may be fixed, since otherwise the family might suffer loss if there is a robbery. Okay, so I think it's a very, very good example as well. Oh, it's actually from Mishnah Brura, not this specific example, but this concept, right? That prevent potential loss. Okay. Continue. Any questions on what we said so far? Okay, we continue then. Working on Chol HaMoed. Oh, we start with okay. Working. The category Dvar Ha'avad refers only to losing money or possessions that a person already has. Okay, exactly. It does not include making extra profit. So even though I said to that person, I'm sorry, but you cannot work on these days. Okay, on Chol HaMoed, yeah, you can work, but on these days of holiday, of course you cannot work. It's who am I to allow that person to work? Hashem said no. I would say yes. Melacha would not be permitted for the sole purpose of making money. Okay, so we're talking about Chol HaMoed. It is for this reason that many do not go to work on Chol HaMoed, since essentially the purpose is to make new profit. So that's again. So about as we said, if person just got a new job or just got hired and he or she is going to lose the job, that's too much. So basically, we advise them to give all of the money to tzedakah anonymously. So not to drive any benefit, and that's it. Okay. So you just work to not to lose the job. Okay. However, there are several situations cited by the poskim that might be considered dvar haved. Right? If one might lose her job but not coming to work, that can be considered something that she already has. Okay, so that's as we said, that's exception. Similarly, if business has customers who patronize the business, and if the business is not available on Chol HaMoed, those customers might go elsewhere, maybe some kind of food business or something, right? Might go elsewhere. That too can be considered losing something one already has. Okay, very interesting. A store owner should be preferably have a storefront partly closed when receiving customers. A Rav should be consulted in each situation. So it's not so simple, but this problem especially arises when person works for a small company, so they have only so many people to work, and they rely on each and every individual. So if somebody it's very hard unless you have your boss religious Jews. It's very hard not to come for 9 days, let's say. That's very hard, right? But when you usually work for a bigger company, they have so many employees that they do not care. So that's just food for thought. Okay, continue. And with preferably with all of the other religions and nationalities, so they would not care. So, but if there are many Jews working in one company and the boss is not Jewish, so it's very hard to take the day. So very hard, right? Right. But if there are other idol worshippers, they want to celebrate their holidays, and that's very good. So you can take all your days off whenever they are. Okay. Buying and selling. So work for a religious Jew, or have your own business, whatever you do, right? Or work for a big company. Buying and selling. The sages prohibited buying and selling on Chol HaMoed because commerce can cause mental stress when negotiating and considering the price. This distress is not in line with the happiness, and one should experience throughout Yom Tov, right? So buying and selling, and they try give you crazy prices, even though I'm not sure that today people, what they count on you can go to internet while you're talking with them on the phone, you say 1 second, and you go and Google and check the price, and you see they ripping you like 40%. I'm not sure what people are counting on today, but very interesting. However, purchasing may be made for items that are necessary for Chol HaMoed or for the second days of Yom Tov. Therefore, one may buy whatever groceries she needs for the rest of Yom Tov. So basically, some people that they try to go, for example, to the butcher, and the line is so big, and especially like all in my neighborhood, they're all style butcher. So it's him, his wife, maybe one more assistant, and it's like it's take he moves, the guy moves very fast, but it's like people ask me, give me a little this, a little that, and then he has to cut. So 3 people, it's like 1 hour wait. You understand? So what we learned, it's just to buy whatever, like the minimum, and buy the rest on Chol HaMoed. That's it. There's nobody there. So, okay. She may also buy garments for herself and her family. So if they do not have enough clothing to wear. So again, we don't go shopping on on Chol HaMoed, right? Especially for clothing, right? But they say if you don't have anything, let's say some people went to like I don't know, so somewhere they in a hotel, and now like they need new garments for kids or something. Okay, they can go to buy because it's for a purpose of the holiday, but otherwise we don't buy. Other items may not be purchased if they're not required. So okay, even if they're paid for together with the needed clothing. Okay, so don't do like 3-hour shopping on Chol HaMoed. Whatever you need to do, just buy and that's it. In the same, so and okay, he has the leniency. Okay, in the same day, Melacha is permitted. In situation dvar chavet sotu is buying and selling. Okay. So what does it mean? If the item will not be available after Yom Tov, or there is a sale that will not be extended until after Yom Tov, then there is opportunity will be lost. At this point, a point constituted dvar chavet. Right, so basically the big sale, whatever is it, and after the holiday it's not going to be sale, so you can buy. Therefore, one would be allowed to buy an outfit on Chol HaMoed, even if she does not need it now, if she will not be able to obtain it later, or if it's for a special sale, only on Chol HaMoed. Okay, whatever reason is. I mean, right? Not so people you usually get distressed when. You don't allow them to save money, especially today if it's on internet and you need to click few buttons, so it's a little easier. In olden days, and not in olden days, before the internet, you would have to go to the store and spend many hours, stand in line, like go to the fitting room, no fitting room, too much time. But here today is much easier. So 1 second, let me check time. Okay, so continue. Next topic is hair cutting. One may not take a haircut on Chol HaMoed. This is the case even if she intended to get it before Yom Tov and did not do so through no fault of her own. And same is men. So do everything before Chol HaMoed. This prohibition is intended to ensure that a person takes haircut beforehand. So meaning what? That you look presentable before the holiday starts, not in the middle, like you're trying like to save time, right? Beforehand, and will not enter Moed looking unkept. Okay, so do all of these preparations, like this haircut before the holidays. I'm not sure why they're talking about women. Women should have their hair covered. Nobody sees, but I'm not sure. As mentioned earlier, but for sure it is applied to men. As mentioned earlier, this applies only to hair on one's head. Okay. Hair on any other part of the body may be cut, shaved, or twisted on Chol HaMoed. Right, and just of course it's a women's class, but all of these things are not allowed to men on any day. So to shave the part of the body, twist and all other things. Right. So why? Because from where do we learn? The source is here. Right. It's from Mishnah. The source is here because these things that women do. So for them, you see in the Chol HaMoed, they're allowed, and for men it's never allowed. Okay. Many poskim feel that cutting sheitel is included in this prohibition, since these two should have been done before Chol HaMoed. Okay, so some people, the crazy people, they do the hairstyling on sheitel, on a wig. Okay, continue. Cutting the nail. Okay, it's Avodah Zarah. It's the best to just to burn it and that's it. No cutting required. Okay, cutting the nails. Poskim debate. So that's a very big in cutting the nails. Poskim debate whether nail may be cut on Chol HaMoed. Practically, one should refrain from doing so. However, if someone cut her nails before Yom Tov, and she wants to do so again on Chol HaMoed, this would be allowed. A married woman may cut her nails in the usual way for the purpose of Tevilas Mitzvah. Okay, so let's try to understand. And same for men. So all this cutting, you do cutting nails, you do before the holidays. So of course there is some exception with a haircut and cutting nails. So Mishnah Berurah says it's especially it's from Shulchan Aruch. If somebody was released from prison right before the right before the holidays, or somebody returned from overseas, this and that, like all of the crazy circumstances, yeah, we would allow these people to do that, but otherwise absolutely not. So a person have to enter, he or she, doesn't matter, enter the Yom Tov with proper looking properly. Okay. 1 second. I'm not sure he did not say that, but actually some poskim say, I mean he said it's debate, but if needed, if person has a tradition to cut his or her nails on Friday, or Friday morning, Friday afternoon, that there's no problem. So on Chol HaMoed don't do it, but on Friday there is some poskim to rely upon. And of course, if she needs to go to the mikvah, there is no problem, because you're not cutting before because you were lazy before the holiday. That's a special mitzvah. Has nothing to do with that. Okay. Continue. Laundry. A woman may not do laundry on Chol HaMoed for the same reason given the prohibition of hair cutting. Okay. Namely, if it were permitted to do the laundry on Chol HaMoed, we are concerned that one will not take care to get it beforehand, enter Chol HaMoed with the soiled clothing, which is disrespectful to Chol HaMoed. Right, and that's actually, I remember like a few years ago, the story that said that these people live in that country. So I said, just do your orderly laundry. I said, and I was a little frustrated. Now I remember the story. I said like a few times, why don't you do laundry before the holidays, before the Chol HaMoed, and that's it. And right, and you relax on the holidays. You do and that person said, because we don't have clothing. That's what's very sad, very sad. However, children who continue to soil their clothing may have their clothing laundered in the Chol HaMoed. So I mean, it's like if you need to change their clothing 3 times a day, right? So I mean, of course you need to do laundry during the Chol HaMoed. There is no problem. For children, no problem. Adults' clothing may not be added to the load of the children's clothing. So don't be smart and say, yeah, it's only half load. Why don't I add some of my clothing? No, it says absolutely not. Despite the fact that no extra effort is extended, right? So this washing machine works exactly the same. A little more clothing, a little less clothing, exactly the same amount of detergent, stuff like that. Maybe detergent a little less, I'm not sure. Okay. Many poskim feel that adult clothing that is similar to children clothing in that they constantly soiled may be sold, maybe also washed on Chol HaMoed. This includes undergarments, shells, and socks. Preferably, one should purchase enough garments for the entire moed, thereby avoiding any question in this area. Okay, so as he said, there is opinion, right? That these undergarments be because you need to change them. But again, in Western society, get yourself a little extra. They're not so expensive, right? So you would not need to do that. But again, if you live in this poor country, yeah, that's what you do. You would be allowed to wash the things on Chol HaMoed. Continue. Ironing clothing that will be worn on Yom Tov is permitted. Okay, there is no problem. Likewise, clothing may be picked up from the dry cleaners on Chol HaMoed if the items are needed for Yom Tov. Okay, so that's also allowed. So if you given so they're not allowed to do dry cleaning for you on or laundry for you on Yom Tov. So you have to do something different, like give them before the Yom Tov, maybe a few days, if you need it on Chol HaMoed, so they would have enough days, like 2 days before. So they for sure, if they want to, they could do before the Yom Tov. But they say, for example, the cleaners that I use, they say almost it's 4 days for whatever reason. I usually drop off on Sunday. That's because it's convenient for me, and usually pick up is Thursday, so it's like 5 days or so, right? So okay, so make sure that they have enough days, not to do it on Yom Tov for you. Okay, continue. Family trips. Many families go on outing during the Chol HaMoed. Driving is permitted as it is considered ma'aseh hidyot, right? So it's like you don't have to be like a very skillful driver, and it is Chol HaMoed, right? To reach one's destination. Okay. Gas may be purchased on Chol HaMoed if it is necessary. Okay, so if not necessary, gas don't purchase, but otherwise no problem. So enjoy yourself, and that's and you see buses and buses where I live, you see buses going upstate to the mountains, to the waterfalls. If you go to waterfalls on Chol HaMoed days, it's all of the Jews going up to the waterfall and going up and down. And we actually, I some years ago, we had a minyan in the middle of the waterfall, so kids that were running around. Women, right? And then we had mincha there. Very interesting. In the middle of the waterfalls. Okay, so continue in the mountains. Family trips. Okay, continue. Fishing, and apple picking. Fishing and apple picking. Fishing and apple picking are activities that entail one of the 39 Melachos, right? So you're not allowed to pick up. Pick the whatever is attached to the ground, to the tree, to the ground, not allowed, right? However, if the family wants to participate in either of these activities, right, then you're not allowed. Fishing is trapping, so you're not allowed to trap animals. They should use some of what was caught /picked in order to consider it Chol HaMoed. Meaning what? So whatever fish you caught, you must eat it for some of it. Some of it you should eat, must eat for the holidays. So to show it was not only in violation of Halachah, but actually to get the food. And same with apples or other things. Most poskim assume that the actual enjoyment of the activity itself does not constitute Chol HaMoed. Okay, so of course nobody goes apple picking because they're hungry, right? You have to usually in these places, at least where I live, they charge more money. It's cheaper for you to go to the store around the street and buy even better apples than whatever when you go and drive and pay all the tolls and spend all the gas and whatever you pay them. Okay. Continue. Photography. Many poskim, so photography is not allowed on Yom Tov or Shabbos. It's writing. There are a few issues actually. Many poskim allow taking photographs on Chol HaMoed since it is ma'aseh hidyot. Meaning today, especially with cell phones, you don't need to be expert. This is especially true nowadays when a picture can be seen and enjoyed immediately, right? And it's very interesting point. In olden days, you have to work on it and give it to the lab or do it yourself. Okay, to develop it. the whole big deal, right? But here it since it immediately, so it's for sure it's for a Chol HaMoed. As that constitutes Chol HaMoed. Okay. Additionally, if this opportunity for the picture will not return after Moed, then it is considered Dvar Chavet and is permitted. Okay, so we actually finished, so let me check time. So we can start, I guess, any questions or we continue? Tell me. Okay, go ahead, Albert, go ahead.
Rabbi, what if we have to go to like a government office or like the motor vehicle bureau or something like that during Chol HaMoed?
It's better not to, but if they call you for example to go to the court for jury duty, and actually even for jury duty you can postpone. So it's better not to, because it's like especially in motor vehicle, like it could be like hours of waiting. Right, so of course it's not enjoyment of the Chol HaMoed. So it's proper not to. Proper to postpone everything for other days.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so if no questions, so I'd like to go over the Siddur. So we've been going through the Siddur, and we already. On what topic? By Amida, but since tomorrow night is Rosh Chodesh, right? Rosh Chodesh. So I'd like to go over the Shacharis for Rosh Chodesh. It's very, very different from a regular Shacharis. So okay. So if you need to take your Siddur, please go ahead. So all like. You start the same. So I'm going to go through the whole Shacharis. So we're not going to skip. So if we need to skip, so that's a different story. I'm going through the whole Shacharis. So you start as usual with the blessings, with the karbonos offerings, and there is a special section on the page 43 in the Art Scroll Siddur, like in the middle in a great box. So it says. On Rosh Chodesh, we add. And it says all of these things, it's actually from reading of the Torah on Rosh Chodesh. Okay, then you go as usual. And you do Psuki de Zimra, you do Borchu, you do, you start, what was it, Amidah, Shmona Esrei, and then there is a special edition for Chol HaMoed. I'm going to tell you. Which is called Yala V'Yovel. So for me, it's on page 111, and it starts with the word our Hashem, Hashem of our forefathers. May there be rise. May there rise up. So may be rise up is actually Yala V'Yovel. So it's some people think that Yala V'Yovel would be the first two words. It's not. It's actually. Fourth and fifth words, right? If you look in the Hebrew, it's not. So this is actually the addition for Rosh Chodesh, right? So and that's what we add, and then we add Shmona Esrei, and it's very interesting. So on Rosh Chodesh we don't say vidui, confession, and we don't say tachanun, but there are many other additions. Chol HaMoed. So, 1 second. Where's it ends? Okay. 1 second. Okay. So on Chol HaMoed, not Chol HaMoed. On Rosh Chodesh we say. What's it called? 6:32. Hallow. We say hallow. I apologize. So after you finish Shmona Esrei, you go to 6:32 page, right? 6:32, and you say special hallow. Hallow, right? And on Hallow, since it is a Rosh Chodesh, so you skip some parts, right? So if on page 635, so you see just follow the instruction, because some parts are skipped, right? Like only two Tehillim are skipped, but and then you go to the end. Okay, so you arrive to the end of the Hallow, right? And then you jump back on a page 115. So after you finish, so you do everything as usual. You finish Shmona Esrei. You go to Hallow. After Hallow, you go to 150. And unless you're in a shul and they read Torah there, then you of course you do the reading of the Torah. So I'm going for people who are going to pray at home. So 150, 151. So Ashrei Valitzion. That's the section, last section of the Shacharis. And here is also one change. On the next page, in the middle of the page, you have this the piece that starts Lamnatzeach, Mizmor LaDavid. For the conductor, the Psalm of David, right? So it's a Psalm number 20. We don't say it on Rosh Chodesh. Okay. So everything is usual until. So you finish this piece, Asher Yoshua, but usually you say here, you go to Aleinu L'Shabeach. It is our duty, right? But not on Rosh Chodesh. On Rosh Chodesh, you go to the page Musaf. So Musaf is 644. So you go and pray Musaf prayer. 644. Okay, 1 second. 644, and it's special Musaf. It like very different from all other Musafs. Okay, so you do this Musaf and add 644, and after you're done with the Musaf, you take 3 steps back, and then you jump back to where we left off. So you do Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 159, right? 159 till the end. Then you say Psalm of the day. For example, it's going to be Wednesday, so you say the one on Wednesday, 165. But then again, a change. A change meaning addition. So after the Psalm of the day, you go to the page. Page 173, and there's a special section which is called Borchi Nafshi. May Hashem bless Hashem, O my soul. Okay, so that's the blessing. That's the Seder for Rosh Chodesh morning. And just one more addition. So when we say this Musaf prayer, we remove tefillin. Men who wears tefillin remove tefillin before the Musaf. Okay, that's it. So, of course, everything that I said, it's in a small print in a Siddur. So, but you always have to know what to do in advance. So, for example, I recommend some people just write down, put a sticky note somewhere, in the front of the Siddur, and put the pages, where to jump. Okay, I finished this, jump to that page. After that, I jump to this page, so it's easier to remember. If you know by heart, that's not a problem. But if you don't, it's better prepare before you start. Okay, that's all. Okay. Any other questions? Any questions? Okay, so no question, no problem. So today to tomorrow, we're going. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I have one from the chat I wrote about releasing rodents on Shabbos.
Oh yeah. Okay. So all right. So one. Thank you very much. So as we mentioned today, in a class that you usually you would not be allowed to catch animals, right? To trap. The Melacha is trapping, right? Including fish, and of course you're not allowed to trap like on Shabbos specifically. So if you, for example, you have a trap for rodents before Shabbos, there is no problem. But to release, I would say, yeah, there is no problem to release. Yeah, no problem. Just maybe, but release it. You see, the problem is if you don't have a roof, so you cannot release somewhere like outside. That's also would be a problem. Okay.
And what if a rodent went inside a bag? And can you close the bag and throw the rodent outside in the backyard?
No. The problem is in this case is moving. You're not allowed to move. You're not allowed to throw anything outside. So even if you try to save it, so let it stay in the bag. And I don't think it's going to die in 24 hours. I mean, it's going to fast a little, but otherwise, yeah. After the Shabbos, you can release it.
So if a rodent gets inside a bag, it's better not to touch it?
Yeah. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Very interesting question. Any other questions? Any topic? Okay, no problem. So tomorrow we're going to continue with our class, Kitzur Shol HaMoed. Thank you very much and good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.